Rich Rodriguez, man, he is absolutely telling the truth when he talks about these quarterbacks and about these wideouts and how this team could be a passing and not a running team. Listen to this stuff.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. This is Locked On West Virginia, baby, where we're talking about the Mountaineers again today after Rich Rod's press conference on Monday, where he addressed certain things from the scrimmage. Nothing too surprising, right? But, man, when he got to a certain portion of his press conference, I was really happy to hear him say, and I'm not going to lie, for certain reasons. But before we get there, this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by Game Time. Download an account and use code Locked On College for $20 off your first purchase. Make sure you do that, guys. And thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network where we talk about your team, the Mountaineers, every single day. What did Rich Rod have to say about his quarterbacks today, man? Listen in.
Your point, all of our quarterbacks can really throw the ball. I mean, I know we're repping five guys. All five can really throw it. I've never had that many that can throw it that well. I mean, as far as arm strength goes and all that. So there's not really a pass play. I guess you could say this. There's not really a pass play that's out there or a route package that is out there that we're like, well, we can't do that because we don't have the arm strength to make that throw. That's kind of a neat deal. Like they have every quarterback for every route package can make every throw. So now we just got to see which ones we can be the most accurate with. So that's kind of a fun thing to have.
Obviously,
That's pretty wild stuff, man. But he didn't stop there. Listen in one more time.
fans here think of Pat White running your offense, but there's been many quarterbacks since then have run it to success. But when they think of Pat White running it, they think of obviously he's running it to perfection, but he also was the fastest guy on the field. So sometimes.
Oh, never mind. My apologies, guys. It's later in the press conference when he says, I'll just go ahead and tell you. He's asked the question, could this team pass it more? And he went ahead and said, actually, yeah, I think we can. And as of right now, we're putting in more pass plays. That's not a huge shock to me. I think it might be to some people, though. I've been telling you guys for a week that we're going to be more of a passing team. Now, I didn't say a primarily passing team. I don't think that's what we're going to be either. But I've been saying for about a week now that I believe this team is going to be a passing team at times, especially maybe in the beginning, based on the personnel, guys. It's all personnel based. Our running backs are dinged up right now. We've got running backs that aren't even available right now, at least two, right? So we've got a bunch of wide receivers that are pretty good. We got one or two, I think, that can be really good. And we got a couple quarterbacks that I think are really good. I've got every single one of their X profiles pulled up. And we're going to have a look-see at all the players I think Rich Rod is talking about here. Obviously, we're not going to watch tape on every one, but I thought it'd be a fun exercise to do. For those of you listening on podcasts, just follow along and listen along. I'll do my best to explain exactly what we're looking at and why, etc. here. So we got a long list to get through. Let's start back again where we left off yesterday with Jaylen Henderson. A kid definitely can throw the ball around, right? Is he the best thrower on the team? Depends on who you ask. I certainly think he has the chops to possibly be that. Certainly. The kid can absolutely sling the thing around, especially if you look some of these plays here when he was at Texas A&M. Excuse me. Here's a pretty nice looking play. Nothing major, but that's 10, 15 yards down the field. You want to see that. That's a nice looking play. He can throw on the run really well. Obviously, now on these running plays, we'll have to fast forward. A couple of these plays, man, that's a really good throw right there. If you look at this play right here, when he releases that, there's the referee, there's a linebacker, there's two other players on this receiver, and he fits that thing in just right over top of that referee's head, in the only spot this guy can get it, with a lot of what I would consider zip on the ball. There's a lot of zip on that ball, man. You can sling it. There's a couple plays. Here's one. I mean, look at that, man. That's a dime down the field. And then there's another one here in a minute against LSU, I think, or maybe Texas A&M in practice. I can't remember, where he absolutely throws just one of the best deep balls you'll see. Obviously, we know he can do this. We know he can get down the field. We just seen a lot of these yesterday. I'm not trying to stay on here long, but Jaylen Henderson can absolutely be a passing offense, I think. Jimbo didn't go pick him up for no reason, right? Jimbo is a passing offense. Here's the play. Look at this throw down the field. That's a freaking dime, man. You know how many quarterbacks can make this throw? Not a lot. Not a lot of guys can do this. With the guy coming off the edge, you got less than a second to release that. It's still in two. He still got it in two hands. Watch this. Boom. It's gone. And to put it in that spot is insane. So, yes, this kid can absolutely throw the ball around. That's not a surprise. So we jump off of him. Now we go to Nico, right? Who is probably the favorite still to win this job, at least most people would say. And that's not anything negative to say against, Jaylen at all. I would say absolutely he's in the race, no doubt. But Nico is a good thrower in his own right in a lot of different ways, if you ask me. So what's that look like? Well, we'll pull up his tape here in a second and have a look-see, because Nico can absolutely sling that thing around if you look on tape. Now, a lot of his stuff is from workouts. Excuse me. But I do think that, he is somebody that's really been working on it. He does it a little differently, right? But, I mean, you can see there just a really pretty ball, a really fluid delivery. He puts basically no effort into this and gets 35 or 40 yards out of it. That might be 50% of his arm strength, if that. So, we know he can really sling it around too. We saw him go 18 for 22 at Arizona. Does he have a lot of experience? No, not a lot of experience. I do think he's getting there. He's done certain things at West Virginia that make you really see, like, okay, he's got a shot to be pretty dang good. Like, here he was in the summertime working out, and you get to see some throws here. I think this might be the same play we just watched. It is. Awesome. Here's one with helmet on, and you kind of get to see some of that velocity, right? Very nice ball. Let's look at some of the mechanics. Let's look and see how he sets up. So, as you can see, Nico is the kind of player, he sets up feet totally horizontally from next to one another, right? He doesn't have one foot shaded back from the other. It's straight apart, knees slightly bent, similar to Peyton Manning. Watch him drop back. Look at the shoulders. Do they move? Shoulders don't even move, guys. That's impressive, right? When you watch a guy drop back, you want to see what the shoulders look like. Do they move at all? And from the time he is in his drop until he lets this thing go, his shoulders are like this on a straight parallel. That's what you want to see. Then you want to see the belly button, right? You want to see the belly button. Follow the receiver, which it does. If you slow it down frame by frame, he follows the receiver. And then you want to see the footwork, right? So what do they call it? Bounce to balance. Bounce to balance. So what does he have? He's got this is on a 3-step drop. 1, 2, 3. And then you bounce to balance. 1, 2 shuffle. Let go. And right out in front of the receiver. If you're going to critique it, it's just a tad high, I guess. But I don't know how tall this receiver is. I don't know, It's a great throw, but I mean, I'm just saying if you're asking me to critique it, that's what you do. Let's see. Backing out here. He's got a couple other plays.
First step goes vertical. First step goes vertical. Go. Shoulders open. Pitch. Perfect.
Just a gorgeous throw. I mean, it's not a hard throw. It's all about the throwing motion. As you can see here, very much like Peyton Manning. If we pull up Peyton Manning in the shotgun, hold on, let me show you. See. Okay. Let me get an image up. So let's find a good one. Boom, there it is. All right. I'll go ahead and just take a little screenshot of that. All right. So if we get Peyton Manning up, we'll just add it to right here. I think Nico closely resembles this stance, right? Where you've got the feet horizontally next to each other. You got the legs slightly bent. He's got a very similar looking stance, right? As to where if you look at Aaron Rodgers' shotgun stance, or even you can look at several different guys. I mean, it doesn't have to be Aaron Rodgers necessarily. Tom Brady's was a little different. Everybody's is a little different. But I mean, if you look at, let's see, at Aaron Rodgers, for instance, and it matters. Trust me, it does matter. I know it's a silly thing to get hung up on, but everybody does it a little differently, right? As you can see, Aaron Rodgers here, he's got that right foot way back behind the left foot. And so everybody has a different way of transitioning back into their drop. I like the way Nico's is. Jaylen's is, I mean, we'll go back and look at his in a second at some point in time, not right now. But I mean, Jaylen's is like, let me make sure. Let me look again because I haven't really noted it mentally. Okay, so Jaylen's is just like Nico's. It's side by side. And then he has a much different drop from Nico, but they're very similar in this part of their game. Nico's throwing motion is really smooth. It doesn't look like it would hurt at all. It comes back by that right or by that left ear. It used to stay in right ear. And as you can see, it comes off those two fingers. So both are what you would consider good passers. I don't know if either are elite. I think both have the chance to be that, right? So we love both. We'll continue to monitor both and see what happens with them. Let's go to break really quick, guys. On the other side, we'll continue this conversation, and we're going to look into some of the players on the team who they're going to be throwing the ball to. Who are some of these guys that Rich Rod is building this offense around, and what does that look like as far as who's going to be the pass catchers? We talk about it next, right here in Locked On West Virginia. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by Game Time, guys. And we talk about Game Time because, well, I'm supposed to talk about them. Right now, if you're logging on early, waiting for concert tickets to go on sale, you're not alone. If you want to lose your concert spot for a show you've been dying to see, you're also not alone there as well. Live music should be about making memories, not dealing with the stresses of ticket shopping. That's where Game Time comes in. Game Time makes getting concert tickets faster and easier than ever. Prices actually drop as you get closer to game time. And look, save 60% on your last-minute killer deal. If you do that, you can look through the tired, endless scrolling that some places have you go through. Look, with Game Time, you've got your zone deals. You can just pick one of those and get the best seat in your section for you. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with concerts at Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. The terms are going to apply, but then create that account, redeem the code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off today, and download the Game Time app where you can get last-minute tickets at the lowest price, and that's guaranteed, and you'll answer yourself the question of all questions. What time is it? It's game time. It's segment 2. Let's crack a code red do. That's right, baby. We got a code red today because Rich Rod put it out for us to hear himself. Could West Virginia be a more passing team this upcoming season? We continue to look into that. Let's look at another quarterback first before we keep going on, because I think at the end of the day, there are a few guys that you can look at and say could be in this race, right? Max Brown, don't count him out. If you do, you're making a mistake. This kid is the most talented thrower on the roster, guys. He's the third best runner, best thrower. And I'm just keeping that totally real with you. I'm not the only person that feels that way. Most media members that have seen all three people throw say he's the best natural thrower. Now, doesn't mean he's the best decision maker. It doesn't mean he's the best at a lot of different things. But if you want to talk about pure arm talent, he's got elite arm talent. If he could ever measure that or marry that with decision making, he's going to be a very good passing Power 5 player. If you look at him as a athlete with the ball, he is that. He can run, he can do some things. He's probably a 4'7", 4'8" guy. He can definitely run around a little bit, but arm talent is first for him. Here's him showing his arm talent off, literally doing a pirouette in midair and throwing the ball 60, 65 yards down the field. Do that. Imagine here he is rolling out, right-handed guy, and literally flipping those hips around to throw a Patrick Mahomes style throw. Guys, it's just not possible. Like, those are really hard throws to make. Are they game throws? No, they're not. They're not. But it just goes to show you the arm talent this kid has. Here he is moving back. This is all platform. This is basically something you do if you're an off-platform type thrower. Some guys practice this stuff. Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, they probably practice this type stuff. This is flipping the hips. This is like, okay, I got to flip my hips. I got to hurry up and make a throw before I get hit, right? That's what this looks like. So he's moving backwards. He's got the baseball sidearm with it. I mean, it's so beautiful. It's just such a pretty throwing motion. You know, and is it useful in a game? Right, I don't know. This is, as you can see here, throwing motion, straight sidearm, right? But you can see those two fingers are right at the very end of it, and that's why you get the perfect spiral. Literally can't get any better of a spiral than that.
Yeah, right, left.
I mean, he can really sling that thing around, man, and different body angles, different body mechanics. But, I mean, if you want to see just what his drop looks like, you know, it looks like he is a left foot back kind of guy, at least right here. We'll have to look on tape to see. Well, it looks like his left foot shades the inner half of his heel. So it's about halfway up, maybe it was a little bit less to his right heel, which allows him to start with his left foot back. And he wants to take that first step, probably either with his left foot, I would imagine, which, as you can see, he does. He pushes off with his right foot first. His left foot is already back, thus saving him a second. And this is this 5-step drop. This is old school 5-step drop as well. I don't think this is what he was. He's probably just doing this in practice. Obviously, you don't run straight backwards in a 5-step drop anymore. This is like Fran Tarkenton from 1975, which a lot of you guys will probably know who that is. But I mean, if you want to look to him as far as the top of his drop to his balance to balance, it's definitely different than what the other two look like. I'm not saying it's bad, but he's been taught differently. I wonder how that's working out when you look at him. Now, here's the tape of him.
This time they don't. They rush 4. Brown backpedals, delivers a long.
Almost messed that up. Let me fast forward this a little bit till we get to some of the tape that I wanted to get to. Okay. We can watch this. Okay, so as you can see here, let's see if it's all the way out. Okay, so you can see here Field goal is basically going right up his butt here, but I mean, if you can see his legs on either side, his left foot is still shading back just a couple inches, not as severely as it was on the other plays that we saw where he was kind of messing around. Sorry, guys, allergies are getting the best of me here. But he's definitely a guy that likes to start with that left foot back so he can push off with the right foot. Nope. Yep, he still did. Pushed off with the right foot. And then it's 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, he's a big off-platform thrower here. Once again, I would not recommend throwing it like this. The ball and the way this thing comes out looks great, but as you can see, it's behind the guy, right? Why is that? Well, watch this throw. It's literally, he doesn't step into it. He just really, you could tell he was young here, right? Look, watch him. He's fading away from the pressure. And I think this has a lot to do. I've studied a lot of him here the last few weeks. A lot of the times when Max makes mistakes, I mean, he started at Florida, right? He's got a lot of talent. But a lot of time when Max makes mistakes is when he feels pressure, like right here. Watch how it affects the throw. Watch how it affects his body language. He's supposed to step over that left leg right here. Instead, he fades backwards and throws, right? Which affects the throw. Now, he's got such a great arm, and that receiver makes such a great catch that it's still a catch, but it was almost picked off. If you look here, really severe. So it's not even the same as in other plays. His left foot is straight Aaron Rodgers style, all the way back. His toe might be an inch behind his heel here. What about the shoulders? Shoulders are moving just a little bit, but he's got such an elite release. And I don't use that term lightly. He really does. I mean, you don't go to Florida without having immense arm talent. He's got elite arm talent, but he doesn't know what to do with it yet. I mean, watch him flick his wrist here. Still fading back, still not stepping into the throw. None of that. He's not doing any of that here. But an elite throw, he's still yet. If he just gets his mechanics right, this kid will be a problem for people. And look at me. And you can see there, he can sling that thing in there. There he is again, all platform again. I mean, all these throws are all platform. None of them are, I'm set up and I'm throwing the ball. I mean, granted, there's a guy right in his face, and it really helps to be able to do that. But here you can see, once again, the stance has changed again. So it's never the same. There's no consistency. You know, this time it's probably a little closer to halfway up. And then 1, 2, 3. Off platform again, but that's just an elite throw, guys. I mean, the velocity on this ball from right between the hashes and just the way his arm talent. I mean, he is such a talented kid. He really is. And that's why Rich Rod said in his press conference today, I've never had this many guys that can throw it this well. Which is why we have to take the time and go to the next guy really quick. I'm not going to spend as much time on him, but we had to see Max Anderson too, right? He said we're repping 5 guys. Why is that? Well, that's because Max Anderson is a really good player as well. I don't think a lot of people realize that, but he is. Let me get him here. Did I pull him up? May not have pulled him up. It's looking like, yeah, there he is. Okay, I thought I did. So Max Anderson, is this him? Right here. Okay, so Max Anderson, right? You look at some of the stuff he can do. His arm is just as good as Max Brown's is in some cases, man. He can really throw the ball. Look at him. I mean, look at the velocity on this ball right here. This kid's 17 years old right here. I mean, that's a tough throw, man. That's a really good velocity on the ball. And then you look at some of the plays he can make here, and let's look at the stance. So as you can see, he's got his right foot back a little. All quarterbacks do it a little different. That's what I'm trying to say. Here he is keeping the ball. And we already know he can run it a little bit. Look at the cowbells going on. You know, we know he can run it a little bit. And I mean, he can really run. He's another one, guys, that could, I think, and obviously Scotty Fox, we didn't even bring him in yet. But I want you to see, so that's another run play. I wanted you to see him throw the ball once. All right. Another run. When am I going to pick a throw? I think this is a throw. So rolling out to his right. Nice little flick over the middle. None of these are really kind of showing off what I wanted to show from him. Let's see if this one does. Hopefully it's not another run. Okay, here we go. Finally. There you see it. Perfect play. Guys, do you see how far he just threw that ball? I bet it was 65 yards in the air. Let's see. He's at his own 20 right here. And then he drops back 3 steps. So he's at the 11-yard line. This ball travels from the 11 to the did that ball go to from the 11 to the 25? To the 30. Right there is where he catches it. So from the 11 to the 30 on the other side? No way. Is that real? That's so crazy. You realize how far he just threw that? From his own 11. I just want to make sure I'm not. I mean, it goes past the 50, past the 45, past the 40 to the 30. I really think it's to the 30. Somebody tell me I'm tripping here. Is he really throwing the ball that far? I mean, I've never really paid attention to it. Sheesh. That's 70 yards, guy, or 70, something like 70 yards in the air or something. Like that's incredible.
Win against a strong team like Jefferson speaks volume. And Coach.
All right, so we obviously know what he can do. Was he on the 16? Sorry, guys. I must have looked at it wrong. But either way, that's a really long throw. So we know about Max Anderson. We know about Scotty Fox, and I would love to go through him as well, but we're getting late into the episode. Obviously, we did a lot on Scotty yesterday, and I'll do more on. I mean, we got plenty of time before the season kicks off. We got to look at some of this skill talent. Obviously, I'd be remiss not to start with Cam Vaughn. We know that, right? We know Cam Vaughn is where this thing starts for a lot of reasons. This picture right here, who did this? It's a picture of like school. It's like whenever a parent sends their kids to school picture day together, and they're like twins and they wear the same thing. And it's Nico Marchiol and Cam Vaughn. And who did this? It had to be AI. It's crazy, man. Anyway, let's get Cam Vaughn, Blitnikoff finalist. It's funny, his picture is still him. I wonder if he still resents not playing quarterback. I haven't seen his quarterback stuff either. I bet it's freaking amazing. Can you imagine Cam Vaughn in this offense? It would be crazy, dude. Obviously, this kid can. There's no doubt how good he is. A lot of his stuff is like on this play.
69% of the time.
You might as well just watch this one play, right? I mean, this is him up here. He makes one cut, and then
this one through the air. Cam Vaughn.
And then he's gone, right? He's the fastest player on the team most days. Well, the fastest guys on the field most days. So we know about him. And that's what Rich Rod's building this offense around. I think he's the number one receiver. I think you go from him. And then you can have a conversation about a couple other guys, Jaden Bray. But I want to show people Logan Ramper. For those of you that are just watching me talk about this guy for the first time, I am a monster Logan Ramper. I think Logan Ramper is I just think he's got a chance to be so good. I mean, you look at him, he ran a 4.40, guys, and it shows up here. And how you might ask how I know that. Well, I've shown you guys before a million times now. Underneath here where it says RAM, that's Logan Ramper, a 4.4940 at 6'2", 225 pounds. The kid can absolutely go. And you can see it here. I mean, this is the first play. You can see, okay, this kid's got some wheels, right? There he goes. He just flew by. And I mean, it's not even close. It's not even a foot race. He's way beyond this kid. And he's a big guy, right? So, he's got size, he's got strength, he can jump, he's got speed, he runs good routes. You can throw it to him any manner of way, and he's going to make something happen out of it. There you can see him, he pulls off a spin move, and then he outruns 4 guys almost all the way down the field. Pretty cool there. Here he is on just a great readjustment to the ball. Here he is coming up, just a nice route inside of the end zone. Here he is again. As you can see, all that, he's got that great size, and especially at that level, slippery rock at Division II level, of course he would, or FCS. I mean, look at the size difference here. But, I mean, he's got great hands, got great length. He's able to go up and do this. If you're asking me to hold my feet to the fire, I'm going to say, barring injury, Logan Ramper makes an impact on this team this year, and a big one. I think he's going to be one of our top 3 leading receivers. I believe that. But, can't count on Jayden Bray, can we? And all I'm doing here is I'm painting a picture to people as to why Rich Rod would have said this, right? Why is Rich Rod saying we're putting in more pass plays? Why is that? Well, here's another reason. Let's watch Nico Markiel throw a ball to Jayden Bray. Does that explain it? I'm on the 3rd guy now, by the way, of receivers that I believe are pretty damn good. All 3 of these guys are power 4 guys, in my opinion. Jayden Bray and Nico Markiel, man, what do you know about them two? They've got chemistry. Look at that Peyton Manning stance from Nico. I mean, he's way deep in the stance, isn't he? Is that not like Peyton Manning's stance was? I mean, look at this thing here. It's very similar. Hands out. It's Peyton Manning's stance. He's in Peyton Manning's stance. Now, the feet aren't horizontally as even as Peyton's on this play, but still, it's pretty damn close. The arms out. Now we just got to get the vocalization. What is he? We got to get that rolling. But, I mean, just look at this throw, man. And who is that on? Impressive. Yeah, boy, we'll take it, won't we? So, obviously, Bray's a guy. So, we've already pulled him up. And all we're doing, we're just going through the roster, and we're talking about different guys that a lot of us know about. But we would be really remiss to not even mention this guy here, wouldn't we? How can we overlook this guy? Maybe the guy, if you want to talk about Oron Singleton Jr., right? Oh, that's not great tape. Should have some better. Let's see. Well, I thought we had some better. Where'd it go? Maybe it's in his media. Yeah, here's some over here. Okay, so here's some tape of Oron Singleton. This gives you a great opportunity to see what he's all about. You know, the really, really good speed. He just outruns guys. Like I said, he had a race commit. So play a lot. Both play a lot. You're going to see them both in there a lot. But don't get it twisted, in my opinion. I mean, this guy's more dynamic, and it's kind of not really close. Like, I think Oron Singleton is extremely dynamic. Like you can throw it to him anywhere, any place on the field, and he can turn it into something. He's just got that kind of speed. He's got that kind of wiggle to his game. And he's also an elite return guy. So he does multiple things for you on the field at once. And he does them in multiple ways. And he's just such a great route runner. And he does it so well. And I mean, you look at what he did at Eastern Michigan last year, which was Division I. Yes, it's definitely down a level. I'm not saying it's not. I mean, it is. But I mean, if you want to talk about what he did last year, I mean, he caught, what did he catch? 65 balls for them last year, something like that. 70, maybe it was 65. I can't remember. I'll go look at the numbers really quick. Last year at Eastern Michigan, we're on Singleton, Eastern Michigan numbers. So he caught 64 balls last year for 700 yards, close to 700 yards. No fumbles. Let's see. Only 2 touchdowns, which is a little bit surprising, but he did average 10 yards per catch. So, you know, he's a guy that stretches the field a lot. He's a guy that can definitely take it to the house at any point in time. And he's somebody that I love, capital L love, as you guys know. When we signed him, the day we signed him, I was so happy, man, because I really thought between him and Cam Vaughn, we had a lot of speed now on the field. So we got those 3 guys, and that's before we even talk about. And I mean, it's just so much. When you start to really think about it out loud, these are all skill guys you throw the ball to. We didn't even talk about tight ends, guys. Grayson Barnes, we just saw Coach Nicewonder talk about him earlier, said he's got great speed. He can really catch the ball. And here's the thing. This is not even counting. Not even counting. I mean, who else have I? Rodney Gallagher, obviously. We didn't even get the Rodney Gallagher yet. And here he is catching a ball way deep in the end zone from Scotty Fox, which we can. Just such a great catch from Rodney on this play. Actually, it's better than great. It's just amazing. I mean, that'd be a Sports Center top 10 play any other day of the week, right? Insane catch. Congrats to Rodney there, man. What is this? People make the funniest stuff, man. You know? Here he is at West Virginia making a catch from GG last year. So we know what he can do, right? We know what he can do. So obviously he's on the list. And then you go from there, and it's like, okay, now we got to start to get to some worse players, right? No, that's not how it works at all, actually. Since we're already here, we might as well just type his name in. How about that? Let's type in Justin Smith Brown now. Another one of the four guys that we have on this roster. And he was insanely productive last year at South Carolina State. Insanely productive. And a 4-4 guy.
Phoenix again, back over the middle, cut and in. Justin Smith-Brown puts the.
So we've got him. And you look at some of this, and by the way, I've said this before, number 7 for them in that on the South Carolina State. We looked him up. He went somewhere. This kid's got an arm on him. Look at this ball right here, under pressure. Watch him sling this thing all the way down the field on a great throw. But, I mean, you see, this is the play I use when people – because I've had a couple people ask me, you really think Justin Smith-Brown runs a 4-4? I say, well, yeah. I mean, it says it right here. It says it right here. He ran a 4-4. We got this thing pulled up again, right? Justin Smith-Brown. You want to know what he ran? It's right here. Let me find his name. Okay, it's right there. Justin Smith-Brown. 158 in the 10-yard split and a 4-4 flat 40. Well, what's that look like, Paul? What's a 4-4 40 look like? Oh, I'll show you. Watch him catch up to this football that was overthrown. No joke here. Watch him catch up to this thing. That's a 4.40, buddy. And I mean, he is on his freaking horse right here. I mean, he really running to catch up to that ball, right? Pumping arms and everything to get up underneath that thing, to get out there and make that great catch. Let's watch him catch up one more time. I mean, he can run, boy. So that's another guy, right? That I think Rich Rod's on the practice field going, just shitting himself like, oh my God, I got another guy that can just run his ass off. And you look at this dude, and he just runs away from everybody. Every time he put out South Carolina State, there's nobody.